Hey everyone! In today's video, we're going to be talking about an important part of your immune system's response to injury and infection. Can you guess which process we're referring to? If you guessed inflammation, you'd be correct. So, first things first, what exactly is inflammation? We hear this word a lot, but many people are unaware of what it means. In simple terms, inflammation refers to the process by which our immune system fights off invading bodies. Now, these invading bodies do not necessarily have to be bacteria or viruses. They could be anything potentially harmful to us. By definition, inflammation is a good thing. When does it become problematic then? Well, as the famous phrase goes, you can indeed have too much of a good thing. When a person's inflammatory response exceeds what is necessary to address the threat to the body, that's when it becomes problematic. In fact, an overactive inflammatory response is at the root of several different chronic diseases. Okay, so how do we stop inflammation from getting out of control? The answer is food. The food you eat can both trigger inflammation and stop it. So, here are the 8 foods you should avoid eating if you want to reduce inflammation in your body. Before we get into it though, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel. We really enjoy creating the content you love, and your support helps us to continue to do that. That being said, let's get to our list. Number 8. Alcohol. There is no doubt that alcohol, especially when consumed in excess, puts a strain on the liver. Not only that, but over time, alcohol can damage the heart, brain, and pancreas, causing harmful inflammation and weakening the body's immune system. If you want to avoid this damage to your body, we would recommend either limiting your alcohol intake or eliminating alcohol from your diet entirely. Don't worry, you can still have a beer with your buddies or ring in the new year with some champagne. Having alcohol once in a while is fine. Just be sure not to get in the habit of heavy, frequent alcohol consumption. Number 7. Aspartame. Aspartame is a chemical that artificially sweetens your food, and it is found in more than 4,000 products. Since it is not a natural sugar, the body sometimes perceives it as a foreign substance and may initiate an inflammatory response. Therefore, it is extremely important to keep an eye out for any allergic reactions or symptoms of inflammation after consuming a product containing aspartame. However, not everyone reacts to this chemical the same, and it can actually be very safe to consume for many people. Nevertheless, prevention is the best cure. Always remember that. Number 6. Gluten and casein. Gluten and casein are 2 important proteins found in many everyday foods. Specifically, gluten is found in wheat, rye, and barley, whereas casein is found in milk and other dairy products. While these 2 proteins are usually completely safe, some people may be sensitive to them and experience an inflammatory response whenever they consume food containing these 2. If you think this could apply to you but aren't entirely sure, try eliminating dairy and gluten from your diet and seeing if you experience any change in the symptoms you're experiencing. Number 5. Refined carbs. Refined carbs are basically processed carbs, including many types of breads, crackers, French fries, white rice, and cereals. When you eat refined carbs, they immediately get absorbed into the bloodstream and elevate blood sugar levels. This elevated sugar level triggers an inflammatory response in the body. Therefore, excessive consumption of such foods will lead to excessive inflammation, which will harm the cells in your body. To avoid this problem, replace refined carbs with whole grain alternatives like brown rice and whole wheat bread. Number 4. Omega-6 fatty acids. We obtain omega-6 fatty acids primarily from food because our body cannot produce them on its own. These fats are essential for the healthy growth and development of the body. However, research says that we should make sure we are balancing our intake of omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. In other words, if you consume too few omega-3 fatty acids and too many omega-6 fatty acids, your body will initiate a sustained and harmful inflammatory response. However, the inverse is not harmful, meaning that excessive omega-3 consumption paired with low amounts of omega-6 in the diet will not be problematic. So, the best course of action is to reduce your consumption of foods containing omega-6 fatty acids, like vegetable oils and nuts, and start consuming more foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids, like fatty fish and chia seeds. Number 3. Red meat and processed meat. I understand that red meat is absolutely delicious, but hey, you need to know that they are full of saturated fats, and saturated fats are notorious inflammation-causing agents. Studies suggest that excessive consumption of red or processed meats is associated with cancer, stroke, and heart disease, indicating that they cause inflammation. What is the solution? Limit your red meat and processed meat intake and incorporate more vegetables into your diet. Number 2. Trans fats. Trans fats occur naturally in some meat and dairy products, but can also be created artificially by a process that adds hydrogen to vegetable oils to help improve their longevity and versatility. However, research shows that trans fats are harmful to the body and should be avoided. These fats cause inflammation because they reduce the body's HDL, good cholesterol, level, and increase its LDL, bad cholesterol, level, thereby increasing the chances of having a stroke or developing diabetes or heart disease. Ideally, we should try to consume less than 1 gram of trans fats per day. In the United States, foods that contain less than half a gram of trans fats can legally indicate that they are trans fat free, so exercise caution. Additionally, though many countries have implemented restrictions on the inclusion of artificially produced trans fats in foods, it's possible for products on the market prior to these restrictions to have been grandfathered in. You should always check to see if the nutrition label lists partially hydrogenated oils as an ingredient, as this can be indicative of the presence of trans fats. Number 1. Added sugars. Although added sugars are commonplace in this era of packaged and processed foods, it does not mean that they are harmless. Researchers claim that excessive consumption of added sugars leads to long-lasting, chronic inflammation, and with chronic inflammation comes chronic diseases. So, what can you do to prevent this from happening? Well, the answer is to keep your sugar intake in check. In addition to avoiding or limiting our consumption of products like candy and desserts that clearly contain added sugars, we should also be sure to limit our intake of moderately sweet foods like granola bars, crackers, and bread. Added sugars are in way more foods, drinks, and condiments than you may expect, so be sure to always consult the nutrition labels of the products you're choosing to consume. Inflammation can cause irreversible and long-term damage to your body and could even increase the risk of developing certain chronic diseases. Therefore, it is crucial to plan your diet with care and cut down on these 8 foods and substances that trigger the body's inflammatory response. Stay inflammation-free, stay healthy, and stay happy. If you'd like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. As always, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.